Baba Booey was telling me some weird stuff. He was flying American Airlines. Gary, you ought to tell that story.
Baba Booey!
Baba Booey went out to do a gig in California with Stuttering John.
Artie was there.
Was it Stuttering John and Friends? Or Howard Stern Show Friends?
Yeah, it was John. It wasn't John's comedy show. It was the radio station show. And John.
Was it billed as Howard Stern Show and Friends? No. So Gilbert was there, too.
Yeah, Gilbert was there.
Gary said Gilbert is so weird.
But funny weird.
Yeah. He says it's just amazing. I mean, evidently, I guess the show they did out in L.A., people were throwing stuff at Gilbert.
Oh, really?
They loved everybody. Just the first night, there were 2 nights. The second night, they loved Gilbert.
Right.
The first night, they didn't love Gilbert, but they loved everyone. The show was going great, and then Gilbert came out, and then it just wasn't going over.
Right.
And Gilbert, he's like Teflon, man. He doesn't care. You know, he's got a show he's going to do.
I don't like that they were throwing stuff at Gilbert.
It was weird. It was weird. And then...
But what are they throwing? Things that could hurt him, or...?
Well, I assume anything you throw at a dude is going to hurt him mentally or physically.
Paper.
Yeah.
I'm wondering about the physical damage. Are bottles flying?
It was food.
It was food.
Okay. I don't like that. Gilbert's so brilliant.
Well, he followed Artie, and Artie's like so huge that people love him, so it was hard for him.
Gilbert's act isn't like, it's not a rapid-fire comedian. It's not like joke. You know what I mean? It's a little bit more cerebral.
But he did okay Saturday night.
Yeah, he did fine Saturday night.
Did they change the lineup?
No. They kept it the same.
So when people are throwing stuff at him, does he just leave?
No, Gilbert's a funny dude because, you know, Gilbert doesn't care, and if the audience doesn't like his act, I don't think it matters to him.
Right.
So this is just my thinking. I think there's a couple of bits that Gilbert keeps in his back pocket if the audience really hates him, just to drive them over the edge.
Right.
And he pulled that bit out on Friday night.
Right.
I couldn't even begin to describe it, but it was 15 minutes long and involved a family, a mother, a father, a daughter, and son having every imaginable kind of sex with each other that you could describe and performing every bodily function on each other that you could think of.
Oh, my goodness.
And that was like 15 minutes long.
That's funny.
But the better story with Gilbert is how incredibly cheap he is. I've never seen a guy this cheap in my life. I flew home with him.
Yeah.
They gave us this little thing of maple syrup for the pancakes that we got for breakfast.
Right.
I swear.
We're on the plane?
Yeah, on the plane. It was about 2 inches, like a 2-inch bottle, tiny little bottle. Gilbert used half the maple syrup and then took the other half home with him.
He put the cap back on?
Put the cap back on, packed that in a free bottle of water they gave him.
But Howard,
did you say to him, Gilbert, what are you doing?
Well, he wouldn't tell me. So as we're leaving, I see he has the water and the little bottle of maple syrup on the chair, and suddenly it's gone.
Yeah.
I said, Gilbert, you just take that bottle of maple syrup. He goes, no. And I go, yes, you did. He goes, I started laughing.
Here's how strange Gilbert
What do you think it is? I think his mother and father went through the Depression.
Something like that.
And they made him think he went through it.
Yeah.
Well,
I know my parents did that to me. You would think, I'm not like a cheap guy, but I always think the world is ending because my parents went through the Depression. And I just got scared because they tell me about it every minute. I always think the world's going to end.
See, but my mother and father went through it, and my father doesn't act like he went through it, but my mother acts like it's still going on.
Right. Yeah, that's weird, huh?
Yeah.
Some people get stuck, yeah.
Well, this is how bad it gets. I said to Gilbert, do you ever tip, the comedy club waitresses when you're done with it? He goes, never. I said, are you going to tip the hotel people who clean your room? What, are you kidding me? No way. He wouldn't pay. He doesn't tip anybody. And we had dinner with him when we were all at dinner, but we were all going to chip in. He wouldn't eat. He'd rather wait for the free food at the gig.
So wait a second. You go to dinner with him.
Yeah.
Where do you go?
The hotel restaurant.
All right. So everyone's sitting there.
There's 15 people sitting there.
And you say to Gilbert, like everyone's ordering dinner and Gilbert doesn't order dinner.
He just eats bread.
You go,
Gilbert, the free bread.
You say, Gilbert, are you going to eat?
He what?
He drinks water and eats the free bread. And then holds out until he gets to the gig so he can have free food.
And I said, Gilbert, you going to eat? And he goes, I'm 50-50. I don't know, maybe. But then he just doesn't.
But then didn't John say to him?
John said, well, if I paid, would you eat? And he goes, maybe. But then he just didn't. He just would rather wait for the free food.
Wow.
And
wow.
But can I tell you one other thing? This is how he's just an interesting guy. He got out there on Friday at, say it was noon.
Right.
And the gig wasn't until 8 o'clock, and so he had a whole day in Anaheim with nothing to do.
Right.
So he tells the guy from the radio station, I want to go to Disneyland.
Okay. That's shocking.
Which is shocking.
Right.
So the guy from the radio station has an assistant take Gilbert to Disneyland for the whole day. Of course, Gilbert does not take out a nickel. The whole day cost the guy at the radio station, I think he said it was $190. Parking, to get in for Gilbert and the assistant and to go around and do stuff. The assistant just kept putting the money out.
How does Gilbert make that move, though?
I don't know.
Like, how does he not pay? Like, he just waits for the guy to pay?
He just doesn't pay.
Wow.
He doesn't pay. But the weird thing was we tried to ask Gilbert what did he do at Disney all day, because he kept saying, did you go on Space Mountain? Nah, the line was too long. Pirates of the Caribbean? No, that line was too long, too. So John kept saying, well, what'd you do?
Right.
And Gilbert couldn't give him an answer, what he did at Disney for 8 hours.
Wow.
Does he go by himself?
Yeah.
No, the assistant took him.
Oh, yeah, but I think she dropped him off. And then he was in...
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, she
I
dropped
thought
him off, and then he was there the whole day alone.
Maybe he wanted to be... Was she hot?
She was pretty hot, but I don't
Maybe
think
he was trying to get a date with her, right?
No, because I mean, she dropped him off, and then he still...
John thinks I'm right.
No, I don't know. She was hot, you know. I mean, he might, you know, I don't know.
But meanwhile, he made the hot woman pay for everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's his move.
$170. And then
Jesus
like,
Christ.
and so I'm flying home, so you got to make small talk. So we're talking. I said, so did you ever take your girlfriend out to dinner?
Never.
Never takes her out to dinner.
I know. I said to him, I saw him one night. Beth and I went to Alain Ducasse. How do you say that?
Elaine, isn't it?
Oh, the guy's name's Alan, I thought. Alain Ducasse. Some nice French restaurant. And by the way, let me say something. You know me, I hate the French.
Right.
People are doing a horrible thing. They're boycotting French restaurants. The guys who have French restaurants here in New York are not French. I mean,
they stake their claim with us.
They're Americans. What are you doing? Are you insane? I mean, really, that's you're insane. I understand.
Getting out of hand.
Well, I understand boycotting France. Nobody is bigger on that than me. I've been screaming about it for 15 years. But you got a guy who runs a French restaurant here in America. These guys aren't French.
Well, some of the people might think that they get everything from France. They don't. It's, you know, the food is from here.
Yeah, well...
They don't use French products even.
Well, that's our dopey government changing the name from French fries to Freedom Fries, and now everybody thinks they're supposed to do that. That's insane. I mean, that's insane. You're taking Americans...
Americans out of business.
You're running an American out of business who has all American employees. You got to be kidding me. Don't go to France. Don't buy French wine. Fine. Even
the restaurant. Remember I gave you the gift certificate this...
yeah, I can't even use it.
The place closed.
L'Espinasse. And the guy's an American.
Yeah.
They closed down a French restaurant. That ain't going to do any good.
It's been here forever. It's one of the greatest restaurants we've ever had in the city, and it was around for years.
The French are laughing at us.
Now it's closed.
Yeah. That ain't going to hurt France. Holy cow. I mean, there's some morons out there. I mean, right on, man. Let's get France. Boycott France. Never travel there. Never support them.
Don't buy the wine. The stuff that's really from there. But the restaurants aren't from there.
But the American guy who owns a restaurant is not French. I mean, his origin might be from France.
But still, like I said, those are Americans working there, and they're buying beef from America, chicken from America. That's what you're eating.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so unbelievable. Unreal what's going on out there. People are insane.
You know, I just went to a French restaurant, but I swear I stopped in front of it and wasn't going to go in because I thought maybe
let me explain how you were supposed to conduct yourself. The French are swine. The French in France. Not a French dude who grew up in America. Hey.
You know, Elaine is going to be Alan from now.
Yeah, Alan. Yeah, he went from Elaine. I was laughing, but so I see Gilbert outside of this fancy French restaurant. He was walking through the lobby. I go, hey, Gilbert, you going to take your girlfriend out to a nice dinner? He goes, me? Are you kidding? And he starts laughing.
What was he doing there? He just walks her by the fancy French restaurant.
He was in the bar. Someone had invited him for a drink.
Oh.
Actually, the vibe I got is that I think she takes him to the restaurant.
Really?
I think she pays.
She has to pay.
Yeah, because he does go out, I think, occasionally, and I think she pays. Because when I said that to him, I said, so does she pay? He laughed, which usually is what happens.
In fact, Friday night, John had a bunch of guys back in his room, and John ordered a ton of food. So as we were walking out, Artie just said, hey, John, by the way, should we give you any money for the food? And then Gilbert just starts laughing and goes, yeah, John, would you like some money? Like it's the funniest joke in the world, because, of course, Gilbert's never going to...
What do you think's going on with Gilbert? Gilbert makes a lot of money.
You know what?
Yeah, he makes a ton of money.
I got to tell you, he's a great guy. I spent the whole weekend with him. I talked to him all weekend long, and I enjoyed my time with him. I feel like I don't know him any better than I did on Thursday.
Right. Somehow he keeps that wall up so you don't really know Gilbert.
But he's fun to hang out with.
Yeah, he is a screwball.
Well, I got to do a financial asking him like what he does with his money, and and
what'd he say?
He invests in like stocks and mutual funds, but
stocks. So he must have gotten killed.
But he says his accountant put him into it right before the crash.
So he lost a ton of money.
I guess so. He goes, the accountant says it's the right thing to do. I don't know,
That's funny. But that poor girl, what could have happened in her life that she puts up with Gilbert?
She loves him. I tell you, I talked to her one night. She's just told me that he's a sweet, gentle guy. There's a side of Gilbert we don't see that's just amazing.
Really?
Oh.
Boy, love is blind.
I guess.
Well, the whole conversation on the plane home was about chicks, like about famous chicks and how hot they are. And,
right.
Who's Gilbert hot for?
He said, you ever meet a girl that you see in the movies and she's hot, and then you meet her and she's so ugly, it's disappointing, and he gets into
Who's one of those?
I forget. We're talking about all different girls he says, and Stephanie Seymour, I hear, has a body double. What? He can tell you how old we're getting, that he's a body double.
So upset.
He's like, he goes, hey, John, do you ever, have a girl, hit on you, but you don't realize it till a month after, and then you go, damn it, why did I bang her?
Gilbert's married.
And then he reads all the tabloids. He has, a thing of, People magazine and stuff.
He does?
FHM.
He reads that?
But he goes, there's nothing to read in here. There's no article you want to read. You look at the picture.
Well, who told him to buy it?
I doubt he bought it. I'm sure he had.
Where does he get those magazines?
Yeah, he's collecting them off of coffee tables.
Right. Yeah. He didn't buy those magazines.
There's no way.
He's a pisser.
I'm sure, Howard, that I wanted to do this. I made it. I said, Gilbert, is all the shampoo and conditioner and soap from the hotel in your bag? And he didn't answer me.
Right.
I'm sure it was because Wild Turkey sent us, they were the sponsors, so they sent us a free basket of alcohol. And Gilbert doesn't drink. And I said, so did you bring it home with you? He went, yeah. I go, now be honest, are you going to take it back to a liquor store and say that you bought it there? And he just laughs.
He's got all kinds of scams.
Yeah.
He's making up that money he lost in the stock market.
Man, he's a weird dude.
Do you want to
talk about American Airlines?
So I called American Airlines on Saturday. I want to move my flight up. I was supposed to be on a noon flight, which they mistakenly booked me on. I want to be on the 10 o'clock flight. Mm-hmm. So I call the 800 number, and I get a woman on the phone, and the woman starts, clicking away and everything, and then she goes, okay, I do have a seat open on the 10 o'clock flight. She goes, of course, you realize you're going to miss Palm Sunday services. So I said, I'll make it up on the back end. I didn't know what to say.
Right.
I said, I'll make it up later on that day. And she said, oh, are you Catholic? And I said, yeah. She goes, I didn't know they did services on Sunday nights. I thought they only did Saturday nights and Sunday mornings. So I said, well, no, my church is a little different. They do them on Sunday nights. But she was browbeating me into going to Palm Sunday Mass.
Wow. What was she?
She was black.
You can tell?
Yeah.
Black people got religion, man. But she doesn't understand, in her job, she's not supposed to be telling you to go to church.
Imagine, what was I supposed to say? Oh, my God, I didn't notice. Keep me on the noon flight. I'll go to church in L.A. and then go home.
Yeah, can you imagine?
My life.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
Wow, I've never heard of that before.
Religious people are the angriest people, and you don't want to piss her off by saying, I'm not going to church.
Because then she just stick me on another flight.
Right.
To Hawaii.
Yeah, right.
Right, really screw you.
Yeah, screw you. Screw you, heathen.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
I've never had that before. That was very strange.
American Airlines. I like American. I fly American.
I love American.
But what the hell?
So all the celebrities on American Airlines.
Who'd you see?
Macaulay Culkin was on my flight out there. And
what does he look like?
Yeah, it was exactly what I was going to ask.
Here's the deal. This is why I noticed him. He had a baseball cap on and sunglasses, and his hair was under the baseball cap, and he was walking all by himself carrying one of those little, those little pieces of luggage that has wheels on it. And the only reason, I looked up and saw him, and then I double checked because from a distance, I thought it might have been a chick.
Right.
Because he's completely hairless.
He's that feminine.
Yeah. And I said, because sometimes cute chicks put the glass of baseball cap on.
Right.
I've seen models walking around.
And he's got kind of a narrow body.
Yeah, and my eyes are bad, so I looked up, and then I went back to look, and then Artie and I go, it's Macaulay Culkin.
Should have been like, hey, baby, come over here. Hey, baby.
Hit on him.
Hey, baby, can I buy you dinner?
And then,
where have you been all my life?
Hey, you're a hot chick.
It was very strange. And then I saw that, what's that guy's name from the Today Show, the fashion guy? I think his name is Steven Kuchikara.
Oh, that guy.
Cujo.
Yeah.
And he had
big teeth.
What did he look like?
Well, he looked like exactly what he looks like, except he had his dog with him, his little poodle with him.
Yeah.
But Artie's so funny because Artie...
Why is every gay guy got to carry a poodle with him?
I don't know.
That's the official gay dog.
Yeah, I mean, but why do they have to carry their dogs with them on a plane?
It's their baby. They can't be separated. Separation anxiety ensues.
And Artie's so funny because Artie...
I hope he gets an allergy.
Artie gives me the elbow and he goes, hey, man, Dave Grohl just went into first class. And so I went up to go say hello to Dave, and it was that Steve Kuchikara guy. So I just kept going to the bathroom.
Oh, that's funny.
And then
Artie's so out of it.
He thought Dave Grohl was Cujo?
Yep.
Cujo.
Artie's funny because, his tolerance for drugs must be amazing because he wanted to fall asleep, so I had an extra Ambien, and I gave it to him, and nothing happened.
Right.
After 2 Jack and Cokes, he said my toe fell asleep.
I once flew with Artie, and I had 2 kinds of Xanax. I had the weak Xanax, like the normal one, and then I had a super strong Xanax. I gave him, he wanted 5 for each way. He was strong one, and he took, I think he took 4 or 5 each way and said it didn't really put him to sleep.
Wow.
Oh, my God. He's like a horse.
I actually saw,
You tell me he took 5 Xanax and didn't get knocked out?
Yes, I take 1, and I'm out.
Yeah.
He's on, I'm afraid he's going to kill himself, but it doesn't affect him.
Wow.
And you should see him.
So before this flight, he goes to me, John, I'll tell you what, I'll give you $100 if you get me 10 Xanax for this trip.
Artie's built like a rhinoceros.
You should see his eating is unbelievable. It's funny. Dana must have said to him, I think Dana said to him before, when you're out on this trip, lay low on the carbs.
Right.
So John orders a bunch of food to his room, so it's 2 cheeseburgers. So Artie...
And isn't Artie always confused, like he's not sure what carbs are?
Yeah. Right, he didn't know pizza.
He didn't know pizza was a carb.
Yeah, he didn't know pizza had... Well, he goes, it's cheese, but what about all the bread? He goes, but it's not, it's pizza.
Right.
It's not bread.
So Artie pulls the burgers off the bun, and he eats it with a knife and a fork, but, loaded with cheese and everything, of course. He has 2 of those. So then John ordered some pizza. So everyone's eating the pizza, and this is the funniest thing. It was such a minute thing, you had to really watch it. There were 2 slices left, and you know how they got that little cut in the middle? Artie went to pick it up, and he tried to make 1 slice fall off, but it was a really weak, effort, and it wouldn't fall off, so then he just folded them together. The funniest thing.
This is after 2 cheeseburgers.
Right.
He had 2 cheeseburgers, and then he had pizza.
Oh, yeah. That was like
and he got rid of the buns on the burgers because he's supposed to be laying off the carbs, but then he eats 2 slices of pizza.
And
what is he doing?
And the French fries and the chicken wings, too.
Oh.
And the Coca-Cola.
Yeah, the Coke.
Because he refuses to drink Diet Coke.
What a maniac. And she's after him to lose weight.
She told him lay low on the carbs. And you know what? He had the 2 cheeseburgers. Yeah. I guess he doesn't know French fries are carbs. And then the pizza, just couldn't take it anymore. You can't put stuff like that in front of him, nonstop.
Right.
Yeah. To be able to resist. But I guess, he says he's lost. What did he say he lost, John? Like 20 pounds or something?
I think he said, wasn't it only like 10 or 15?
Do you believe him?
Well, I got to tell you.
I think his girlfriend wants him to lose weight.
Well, I think what's happening is that she watches him here. Yeah. So now when he gets away, he's going to go crazy.
I got to say, if you watch Artie eat and drink for a whole weekend, you really are shocked that he's the size that he is, because he should be 10 times the size he is.
That's because Artie was like an athlete when he was younger. I think that saves him.
Yeah, he has an incredible metabolism.
And they had a picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger in one of the People magazine, and he wears like a thong on the beach.
Uh-oh.
And I guess he's completely lost his physique. Oh. And it's really weird. I mean, Jesus Christ. What's he doing? Walking around in a thong.
Well, he's European, and those guys don't care what they look like. They stuff themselves into those little thongs and Speedos anyway.
Oof. You got to have a set of balls on you to be walking around when you're out of shape in a thong.
Yeah.
You think it would make a difference to Arnold, but apparently not.
Oh.